How to build wealth with the power of focused action. There comes a moment in every man's life when he stares into the quiet mirror of his soul and realizes this undeniable truth. No one is coming to save him. Not fate, not chance, not luck. The world will not bend for you because you wish it would. It will not hand you wealth because you dream of it. You will not drift into success like a leaf on the wind. You must move. You must rise. You must act with focus as sharp as a blade and purpose that burns hotter than fire. Focused action is not motion. It is not activity. It is not the busyness that keeps people spinning in circles, mistaking noise for progress. Focused action is the deliberate, disciplined assault on your dreams. It is the way warriors of destiny cut through resistance, distractions, and doubt. It is how kingdoms are built from dust, how fortunes rise from famine, how you, whoever you are, wherever you stand right now, can forge wealth in a world that owes you nothing. Think of Carnegie, the Scottish boy who began as a bobbin boy in a textile factory making $1.20 a week, working 12-hour days in brutal conditions. He didn't become one of the richest men in history by waiting for a break. He became that by aiming his every thought, every word, every movement toward one goal: wealth through steel. His mind didn't wander. His efforts didn't scare. He acted. Not frantically, but with the unshakable precision of a man possessed. Now understand this. The world is full of dreamers, but dreamers without direction are drifters. They drift from idea to idea, project to project, hoping one of them will finally explode. They do not build wealth. They chase illusions. You, if you are to build real wealth, not just in your bank account, but in your mind, your spirit, your legacy, must become something different. You must become focused, ruthlessly, relentlessly focused. And then you must act again and again and again until the world submits. Clarity is the starting point. Wealth does not respond to confusion. The man who says he wants success has said nothing at all. What kind of success? How much wealth? Built through what means? By when? Vagueness is a curse. It is the great killer of potential. If you cannot describe your aim in detail with fire in your eyes and certainty in your voice, then you do not yet have an aim. You have a wish, and wishes are powerless against the current of life. Edison didn't stumble onto the electric light. He pursued it with a level of obsession the average man cannot even fathom. Over 1,000 failures, not scattered attempts, focused failures, each one a lesson, not a loss. He wasn't testing ideas at random. He was narrowing in, refining, zeroing in on the precise conditions that would force the world to light up at his command. That's what focused action looks like. You must bring that level of intentionality to your days. If you wake up and let the world dictate your agenda, you have already lost. You are being pulled by invisible strings, TV and media, mails, distractions disguised as obligations. These are the chains of the poor. Break them. Burn them. You need a plan. Not someday, not next year. Now you need hours accounted for, energy measured and invested, action taken, with the understanding that every choice moves you closer or further from wealth. Discipline is the armor of the focused. It is what protects your vision from erosion. Without discipline, even the most powerful vision will disintegrate. But with discipline, a weak man becomes a lion. A bankrupt man builds empires. Discipline is not about punishment. It's about respect. Respect for your future, respect for your time, respect for the fact that every day is a coin you spend. You either invest it in your dream or you waste it in someone else's. Henry Ford wasn't born into wealth. He was born on a farm. But his mind refused to remain confined by what was. He saw a future where automobiles were not luxuries for the elite, but tools for the masses. People called him mad. They mocked his vision. But he didn't answer with arguments. He answered with focused action. He put his head down, built, rebuilt, studied, improved, until the world that doubted him had no choice but to drive what he built. That is the power of focus. You don't need more time. You need more intention. You don't need more resources. You need more resourcefulness. The most valuable currency in this world is not money. It is attention. Where you put your focus determines your reality. If you are focused on failure, you will find it. If you are focused on distractions, they will multiply. If you are focused on growth, on learning, on action, then that is what will expand. You must learn to guard your focus like a king guards his throne. Do not entertain the jester of procrastination. Do not sit at the table with the thief of comparison. Do not let the beggars of instant gratification inside your gates. You are building wealth, and that means you must build a fortress in your mind, strong, clear, protected, directed. Walt Disney was not just a man with imagination. He was a man of relentless focus. When his first studio failed, he did not give up. When he lost the rights to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, a character he created, he did not retreat. He focused harder. He doubled down. He created Mickey Mouse. He envisioned an empire. He acted toward it daily, not someday. Not when the timing was perfect, daily. That is how empires rise. Not with grand gestures, but with focused, consistent action stacked like bricks. You are not here to dabble. You are not here to chase 1,000 things. You are here to conquer one. And once you do, another, then another, but never all at once. Success does not respond to divided minds. The ocean does not part for the indecisive. You must be the arrow, drawn back, tense, precise, and then released with total commitment. That is how you pierce through the noise. That is how you build wealth when others drown in distraction. The man who builds wealth does not wait for the mood to strike. He does not wait for confidence. He acts. And through action, confidence is born. Through movement, momentum is built. Through repetition, mastery is forged. Focused action is not emotional. It is a commitment, a vow, a decision made in fire, repeated in silence, honored in sweat. The reason most people never experience wealth is because they confuse motion with power. They make lists. They talk, they plan, they brainstorm. But they do not do the thing. They never take the swing. And wealth only rewards the swing. Not the preparation, not the intent, the action, and not just any action. The right action, repeated, refined, focused like sunlight through a magnifying glass until it becomes a flame. You can have excuses or results, never both. You can have comfort or growth, never both. You can have distraction or destiny, never both. Every second you delay, someone else with less talent, less education, less experience, but more focus are outpacing you. Not because they're lucky, but because they've decided that nothing will stand in the way of their action. And when that kind of decision is made, the universe bends, it responds, it opens doors where there were walls. The world does not reward potential, it rewards execution. How many men have died with brilliance in their minds, inventions in their notebooks, dreams unspoken, visions unbuilt? Cemeteries are filled with unrealized wealth because those men never acted with focus. They hesitated. They rationalized. They scattered their attention like dust in the wind, and the wind carried them nowhere. But not you. You are here to remember what the greats never forgot, that the wealth of your life will be measured not by what you had the chance to do, but by what you did, deliberately, relentlessly, in the face of every distraction and every doubt. Focused action is not a strategy. It is a way of being, a philosophy, a battle cry. You must become obsessed with progress, not shallow movement, but deep, intentional strides. If you want to build wealth, then every morning must become sacred. Your rituals must become weapons. Before the world begins to shout its nonsense in your ears, you must already be moving toward your target. Your focus must be locked in. No checking messages, no scrolling, no waiting. From the moment you rise, your steps must thunder with direction. It's the principle of directed energy, of focus, of action. So ask yourself now, not tomorrow, not later, where is your energy going? Where is your focus bleeding out? How many hours have you given to the meaningless? How many days have you surrendered to confusion, to fear, to distraction disguised as productivity? And what would happen if you pulled all that energy back and pointed it like a spear into the heart of your vision? The world shifts for the focused. Doors open, ideas clarify, people align. When you show up with intention, the fog clears. Focus attracts clarity the way a magnet pulls iron. But it does more than attract. It shapes. It transforms you into someone the universe can trust with wealth. Wealth is not just about having money. It's about having mastery over your thoughts, over your time, over your habits. A rich man without focus will squander his fortune, but a poor man with intense focus will create one. The difference is not in what you have, it's in how you aim what you have. Are your skills aligned to your purpose? Are your hours aligned to your mission? Are your words aligned to your vision? And if not, fix it today. Ruthlessly eliminate what is not building your future. You don't have time for half-effort friendships, lukewarm goals, or opportunities that steal your focus and offer nothing but ego crumbs in return. You are not building a castle of sand. You are constructing a fortress of legacy, brick by brick, with the cement of discipline and the fire of execution. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." But hear me, sharpening the axe is not passive. It is focused preparation. It is deliberate alignment. Most people never sharpen the axe. They just swing wildly and wonder why the tree won't fall. But Lincoln knew preparation without focus is useless. Focus without action is paralysis. But together, sharpened focus followed by strategic strikes, that's unstoppable. You must begin to see your time as sacred currency. Every minute wasted is a withdrawal from your future wealth. Every distraction indulged is a tax on your destiny. You have 24 hours like everyone else, the rich, the poor, the genius, the fool, but it's not the hours that make the difference. It's how fiercely, how intelligently, and how consistently those hours are aimed. Be like Tesla, who worked through nights fueled not by caffeine, but by an electric obsession to bring his vision to life. He didn't dabble. He didn't multitask. He gave his entire mind to one thing at a time. And because of that, he left a legacy that still powers cities and lights the sky. You do not need more motivation. You need more motion. Because motivation fades. But action, real, focused action, creates a fire that fuels itself. And once you taste the momentum, once you see even one day where your mind, your body, your time were all aligned to one target, you will never want to live any other way again. That feeling, that surge, is what separates the builders from the talkers, the wealthy from the wishful. Most people confuse ambition with action. They feel ambitious, they talk big, they post quotes, but their feet never move. Or worse, they move in every direction. You don't need more goals. You need more execution, more follow-through, more days where your calendar reflects your calling, not your cravings. Wealth responds to action that compounds, not inspiration that fades. If you do not control your focus, the world will, and it will rent your attention for pennies. It will convince you that checking notifications is productive. that researching endlessly is the same as starting. The talking about your vision is the same as building it. But deep down, you know it isn't. You know that wealth is forged in the silence, in the doing, in the hours when no one is watching and every excuse begs you to stop. But you keep going because you've chosen. You've locked in. You've aimed your life like a missile. And now nothing will stop you from hitting your target. This is how wealth is built. Not in the stock market, not in some secret business hack, but in the mind of a person who says, I will focus, I will act, I will not stop until I win. The secret that the masses will never understand is this: success is not complicated. It is just hard. And because it is hard, they avoid it. They rationalize. They seek shortcuts, gimmicks, systems that promise everything and require nothing. But those who build wealth, real, unshakable, generational wealth, know better. They know the game is won not by the man who starts strong, but by the man who stays focused when the thrill wears off. The man who keeps swinging long after the crowd goes home. You see, distractions will beg for your attention. They'll wear the mask of urgency. They'll whisper, just 5 minutes and steal 5 hours. But if you want wealth, you cannot afford to be seduced by the temporary. You must be willing to be misunderstood, to be mocked, to be alone. Because focus, real focus, is lonely. It separates you. It isolates you. But that is the price of greatness. That is the toll you must pay to rise while others remain asleep in mediocrity. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence in silence, while the storm of war brewed outside his window. His mind didn't wander. His pen didn't tremble. He knew the power of concentrated energy, and he funneled it into words that would spark a revolution. That's the level of focus required to build something eternal. You are not just building wealth. You are building a revolution in your own life. And revolutions do not come from scattered effort. They come from a soul on fire with intention. A man who has burned the ships and decided, I will not return to a life of distraction and drift. I will march forward with fire in my chest and steel in my spine, and I will take what is mine. Your vision must become your obsession. Your routine must become your battleground. Every morning you wake up, you are either at war with your old habits or building a new empire. There is no neutral. There is no pause. The mind, like a muscle, will default to weakness unless it is trained with ruthless consistency. Discipline is your sword. Focus is your shield. Action is your path. You must learn to love the process more than the promise, to fall in love with the act of doing, not just the dream of having, because the dream will seduce you, but the process will shape you. It is in the early hours, in the repetition, in the relentless pursuit, that is where wealth is born. Ask any titan of industry, any master of their craft, and they will tell you. Success did not arrive in a sudden gust of luck. It came in layers, in months and years of saying no to the easy path, saying no to doubt, saying no to anything that did not serve their highest aim. They moved like generals, commanding their time, their attention, their action, not perfectly, but purposefully. And you must do the same. Every action must be filtered through a single burning question. Does this move me closer to my vision? If the answer is no, cut it. If the answer is maybe, cut it. Your time is too precious. Your focus is too sacred. You're not here to waste your life making decisions based on convenience or comfort. You're here to build. Focused action is not about speed. It's about accuracy. The archer doesn't fire 10 arrows in panic. He draws one, steadies his breath, aims with unwavering focus, and then lets go. That one arrow, launched with intention, will do more than 100 flung at random. Your wealth depends not on how much you do, but how precisely you do it. This is where most fail. They confuse movement with mastery. They fill their days with low-level tasks, respond to every message, say yes to every request, and wonder why nothing changes. But the man of wealth guards his time like treasure. He says no, often. He prioritizes what matters. He delegates the small, automates the trivial, and locks in on the mission. Because he knows, and you must know, that every yes to the wrong thing is a no to the right one. Every distraction accepted is progress delayed. Every misaligned task is a leak in the vessel of your success. Plug the leaks, fortify your routine, sharpen your execution, and above all, act. Not with desperation. We're not in frenzy and not in flow, not to look busy, to become undeniable. Focused action doesn't feel like hype. It feels like stillness in motion, like the eye of a hurricane, calm, controlled, yet unstoppable. That is what you're training for. That is what you're becoming. Understand this. Your future wealth is already available to you. The opportunity exists. The tools exist. The ideas, the platforms, the channels, all there. The only missing element is your focused execution. And once you apply that, the dam breaks. The results compound. The life you've imagined begins to harden into reality. And yes, it will be hard. It will test you. You'll have days where the results don't match the effort, where silence greets your output, where nothing seems to be working. That's the valley every builder walks through. But the wealth is not just at the peak. It's in who you become by climbing, the strength you gain by continuing, the mindset you forge by not quitting. This is not just about making money. This is about making meaning, about becoming someone who doesn't need motivation and because purpose has taken over. Someone who no longer needs validation because the work itself is enough. Someone who wakes up knowing exactly what matters, exactly what to do, and exactly how to do it, and then does it. You want wealth? Then marry, focus, and action. Become the person who cannot be shaken, who cannot be distracted, who moves like a storm with a map, powerful but directed. When others quit, you refine. When others talk, you execute. When others wait, you launch. Because the time is now. The window is open. The opportunity is not coming. It's already here, staring you in the face, daring you to rise. And the only thing it demands? Your full, undivided, relentless, focused action. You cannot negotiate with your dreams. You cannot plead with your future. You either rise and meet it with force, or you watch it drift into the hands of someone bolder, someone more focused, someone who took action while you hesitated. The harsh truth is this: life does not care about your intentions. The universe does not reward you for wanting. It rewards you for becoming. And becoming is not passive. It is a daily choice, forged in motion, tempered in fire. Every time you act with intention, you are casting a vote for the man you're becoming. Not the man you wish you were. Not the man you talk about in passing. The man you prove yourself to be through disciplined, focused motion. You think Warren Buffett built a financial empire by reacting to the noise of every market swing? He built it through quiet conviction, through deep focus, through action guided by clarity, not chaos. He knew where to look, knew when to strike, and most importantly, he knew when to wait with purpose. Because even stillness, when chosen intentionally, is a form of focused action. But what about you? Are you still waiting for permission? Still waiting for the perfect plan, the ideal timing, the right partner? Hear this now. That hesitation is your enemy. And every day you wait to begin is a day stolen from your destiny. Carnegie didn't wait. He learned as he went. He acted as he climbed. And in doing so, He turned steel into an empire and silence into legacy. Disney didn't wait for comfort. He was broke, rejected, doubted, and he kept building anyway, kept drawing, kept dreaming, kept acting. He knew that the only way to change the world is to stop waiting for it to change you. You are not here to coast. You are not here to dabble. You are here to dominate, to narrow your attention so fully that every cell in your body vibrates toward a singular vision, to become so clear, so dialed in, that your days become a machine of momentum. That's when life shifts. That's when wealth begins to chase you. And yes, it will feel unnatural, because the world is built to scatter you. Your phone is engineered to steal your focus. Media is designed to addict you to the irrelevant. Distractions are weapons against your greatness. Every alert is a test. Will you give in to the trivial or stand guard at the gates of your mind? Guard it. Protect it like gold, because your focus is gold. It is the currency of kings, the root of all achievement, the master key to every locked door. You must learn to treat it with reverence, with fire, with obsession. And from that guarded mind, you act every single day, even if it's not perfect, especially if it's not perfect, because perfection is not the goal. Progress is. Clarity is forged through movement. Momentum breeds confidence. And confidence? Confidence is what allows you to scale, not just financially, but mentally, spiritually, generationally. When you operate from focus, when you move with action, you do more than build wealth. You build power. You build peace. You build freedom. Because wealth without freedom is just a cage with velvet bars. But wealth earned through focused action, that is sovereignty. That is dominion over your time, your choices, your life. And here's what they don't teach in school. Discipline doesn't kill creativity, and it awakens it. Action doesn't trap you, it frees you. Focus doesn't limit you, it gives you range. It gives you reach. It gives you influence. The world only listens to those who've proven they can command themselves. You cannot lead markets, people, or missions if you cannot first lead your mind. That leadership starts now, not next week, not when things settle down. You know they won't. There will always be a new excuse, always a new fire to put out. But the fire worth feeding is the one in your soul, the one that says, no more waiting, no more drifting. I'm taking the wheel. I'm driving this life, and I will not be stopped. That fire is what fuels the late nights when no one's cheering. That fire is what gets you up before the world wakes. That fire is what makes your work undeniable, because it's not powered by hype. It's powered by decision. Focused action is the great equalizer. It doesn't care where you were born. It doesn't care about your degree, your family name, your past mistakes. All it asks is this: can you aim your energy like a laser? Can you show up with discipline? Can you act when it's not exciting? Can you keep going when there's no applause? Because the moment you say yes, truly, deeply, without flinching, the path begins to rise beneath your feet. People will feel your intensity. Resources will find you. Synchronicities will align. And the man you were meant to become will begin to emerge from the man you were afraid to leave behind. This is not theory. This is not philosophy written on a page. This is war. And the battlefield is your attention. The weapon is your will. The victory, it is everything you ever dreamed of, less so and more. So build your life like a man possessed. Build your mornings with purpose. Build your thoughts like architecture, deliberate, designed, precise. And above all, build your wealth through action that cannot be shaken, distracted, or delayed. One aim, one mission, one relentless pursuit. This is your time. This is your season. This is your wealth, waiting on the other side of your focused action. So now, we come to the final test. The moment when your old life begs for you to return, when the voices get louder, when fear grows fangs and doubt dresses in logic, when the comfortable path shines like a trap coated in gold. This is where most men retreat. But not you, because you've heard something deeper. You've awakened something ancient. The part of you that remembers, and not the man you've been, but the man you were meant to be. You were never meant to tiptoe through life hoping to avoid failure. You were built to move mountains. You were wired to endure storms. You were designed to rise. And now, armed with the clarity of focus and the fire of action, you are unstoppable. Do you understand what that means? It means you are no longer at the mercy of circumstance. You no longer wait for opportunity and you create it. You don't beg